Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not really ready for this, but we're here. Hey, Junket. Hey, Glass Half Full. Goshen, Janice, everybody. Who's in the Bay Area? Is that Miss Callie? Miss Callie's in the Bay Area. Um, hey, Aileen. Aileen, your name is my grandmother's last name. And on the other side, my dad's sister's name. So your name combined is my grandmother's and my aunt's name. It stuck me. I got stuck for a minute. Like, wait a minute. That's not. No, it's not. Any hoodle, y'all. I'm not gonna have it together today. I'm telling you right now. It's just not. It's not here. But I'm here with y'all. We're doing this together. Today we're gonna talk about getting into gear to make sure that next year is going to be the year all your dreams come true. And I have this conversation with you guys every once in a while because I really want it to happen, and there's no way to make it happen without actually making plans. So we're making plans today. And one of the reasons I'm doing this now is because I told you guys last week that Exodus Summit is the time, right after Exodus Summit, not before Exodus Summit and not during Exodus Summit, but post Exodus Summit is the time in my life where I feel the most motivation, where I feel the most like I can do anything. I feel propelled forward by the things that I heard in the summit and all the things that we did. And so I decided this year that instead of holding on to the things that I learned and holding them for the new year to make actions, to make goals, to do things, I'm just going to start in October. So October is now my new year, and I am making my October plans. I don't have my October notebook. I have a new notebook. I'll show y'all another time. It's by my bed. I'm not getting up. This was a day, y'all. And it's only 9 a.m. here. Good morning. Okay, so I guess I want to ask you guys, what is the time in your life that you have declared is your new year? Are you a new year person, like a January 1st new year person? I know some people use their birthdays for the new year. What is the start of the year for you? Mine has always been January, but the past few years, it's just felt like, meh, okay, it's January. But this year, I'm like, October. It's going to be October for me. So tell me. Janae says she's a New Year everyday person, and Greta and High Vibes say it's their birthday is their New Year. I am perpetually in the streets for my birthday, so I'm not making any plans. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to see some sights, right? Junkette is still thinking in teacher mode, so September to October is her new year. Okay, Robin says, I love starting October 1st, and then I'm way ahead once January 1st begins. This is new for me, having an October new year, so I'm very excited about what this is going to mean as the year goes on and where I will be in January. Monica, Miss Purse Strings Jordan says, I use the 2-week year. Every quarter is a new year. Okay, so Monica, do I need to Google this? The 2-week year, every quarter is a new year. I get every quarter being a new year. Do you do a 2-week month? I'm trying to figure out how a 2-week year works if every quarter. I'm Googling. Nothing came up. Only stuff about 2-week-old babies, which we don't need for today's talk. Okay, Monica, I need an explanation of that. Stephanie says she generally starts things over in September. Does that work for you, Stephanie? Are you like productive and making goals and sticking to them in September? Because I know September's a blur for me. So I'm guessing it might be a blur for you too, because I don't know listen, August, September, I was alive. I was doing things. What those things were, it was ExodUS Summit. I don't know anything else. I don't know. Jay Snow, I'm gonna guess that's Nomad. Says it's her birthday too. Sassy Travel Goddess says April. Happy birthday, Tracy. She has New Year on her birthday as well. Daisy Lee says January, but she never makes resolutions. It's a daily process. Okay. Monica McPherson says she uses the 12-week year. Okay, I was like, a 2-week year doesn't work. Doesn't make sense to me. 12-week year. I'm about to hit the Googles real quick. Okay, it is a book. Get More Done in 12 Weeks Than Others Do in 12 Months by Brian P. Moran. Okay, let me add this to what I'm reading, because I'm about to check this out. Am I in the right account? No. Okay, so y'all, one of the reasons I'm not together right now is that I tried to get into my computer this morning and I couldn't get the password right. I've never been locked out of this computer in the years that I've owned it. I was locked out this morning twice. And then I tried to reset my password for the computer, but I needed my Apple ID and I couldn't get that password right. I had to reset my Apple ID computer. So now anything that I was logged into, not logged into it anymore. The computer was like, nah, you don't get that reset password means you don't get any old sites. I'm not even logged into Amazon. I've had the same password on this computer for at least 2 years. And today I can't remember it. And I can't remember my Apple ID password. What's going on? At one point I was like, is my keyboard broken? Because that's really the only thing that makes sense to me, is that the letters I'm typing in are not the letters the computer is getting. That's the only way this makes sense to me. But apparently that was not the problem. I don't have it today. All right. Madeline says, yeah, 12-week year. Miss Kelly says, October 11th is my new year. Reflect how my last year went and make new plans for myself. So your new year just happened. Okay. Facing Mount Kenya says she also uses the 12-week year. All right, y'all are really on it. Y'all are really on it. Can I sign into this account? Child. Okay, so the next question for me is like, how do you go about making sure that you're doing what you want to do in your new year, right? So I make resolutions, but not really, because like I'm a very terrible person with resolutions. So my God, my computer's not working. So I try to form habits. And so I've been really, over the past few years, really been sticking to habits. Okay, so I'm going to drop a link. I use Grammarly, and because I logged out because I just log out of everything, I guess. It's like, please tell us your password. I'm like, I don't need you right now. I'm typing while talking, so I'm going to spell something wrong. But give me a break. Everything. I'm like, no, I need this to be logged out of everything. And now when I couldn't remember the password for my computer or my Apple ID, now I'm going to have to remember the password for everything. Hilarious. The universe has jokes. Okay, so I just dropped a link to the 12-week year here. If you're interested. I have LastPass, but I don't really use LastPass. It annoys me. But for some reason, it annoys me. I don't know why it annoys me, but it does. Janae has rolling 30, 60, 90-day goals, and she creates habits. Okay. Hey, Malaysia. Yeah, this may be a vacation hangover. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Okay, so I use habits. My favorite book about habits is Atomic Habits. I linked it in the description to this video, but it's the way that like I started rethinking about how like I went about my year itself. So in the book, he talks about habit stacking and like creating one good habit, and then instead of doing like everything all at once, one good habit and then another one and then another one. And so I am trying to figure out what my new habits that I want to curate for my new year are going to be. And I don't know. I'm much better at goals than habits. Like habits are like having good habits that support the life I want are my goals. But I'm not great with like creating habits. All right. Monica Miss Purse Strings. Jordan says, I try not to make resolutions. Since I use the 12-week year, I tend to be goal focused. My passion planner keeps me on track. So I use the full focus planner. What is that now? Let's not show you my notes. The full focus planner. It says it right there. Boom, boom. And that this is also a 12-week, it's a quarterly planner. So that would work really well with the 12-week year when I read it. But yeah, so I created my goals for the year. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to stick to them. But I also want to talk to you guys about what your goals for the year are and what you're going to do to make sure they happen. KB makes goals and then breaks them down to smaller tasks. Smart and helpful. Badass Habits by Jen Sincero. I have read that one and like that. Wait, no. I've read 3 of her books. I'm not sure I read her Habits one. I read You Are a Badass, the Money one, and another one. But I'm not sure I read the Habits one. I would need to see the cover. But since Amazon is open right here, why don't we just go see it? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Nothing has happened correctly this morning. But I'm awake. So like, no, I've read You Are a Badass every day. And You Are a Badass every day, and You Are a Badass with Money. But I have not read Badass Habits. Is YouTube going to censor my video for saying badass that many times? Posible. I don't know. We'll see. What is happening? What is my computer doing? You guys don't know how close I am to saying forget it and going to lay down. Just forget it. Just forget it. Okay, so I'm dropping the link to Badass Habits for anyone who wants to see it. After School with Dr. Crystal says, I'm definitely a New Year person, love a vision board, but I do start in January. Ooh, the compound effect. We're just sharing today. I love it. So deep work is in the description that I shared in this video, because deep work is one that really helps me to figure out. Now, do I deep work? Rarely. Do I understand the importance of deep work? Yes, I do. But Deep Work by Cal Newport is a good one, and it is linked in the description to this video. Focus on one thing at a time. But like, who can do that? Who wants to do that? Not me. Not I. Okay, so after school with Dr. Crystal, didn't feel like the 12-week year was easeful for her. So, okay. Hey, Larissa, looking forward to having you in from Burnout to Bliss, my group coaching program, linked in the description. Okay, I'm putting the compound effect. All of these things are going to my shopping cart right now. As I'm looking them up, to put them in my shopping cart, and then I'm dropping the link for you guys because I will forget about what we talked about. My memory is questionable. I remember like names. I remember faces. I am a very graphic isn't the word. I remember the look of things. Like if I've ever been somewhere, you could take me. If I've been somewhere one time, you could take me there 10 years later and I will remember where, like if I see it, I know where I was. Even if I see a picture, where I was, probably who I was with, and when I if I turned left or right from where we're standing right now and where I went immediately afterwards. Faces, I remember. These words, child. Visual. Thank you, y'all. Visual. I'm a very visual. I have a very visual memory, which serves me well out like in the streets. I don't get lost. If I've been somewhere before, I do not get lost. But like, what was that book that we talked about that someone mentioned that one time? No. I ain't got it. I don't have faces. I'll remember your face. Will I remember your name to go with the face? Absolutely not. Hi, friend. I do not know. Martish, I think so. You say you need to be a better visual learner. I think we just are what we are, right? I need to accept that. I have a great memory for faces. I remember names if you've done so, like if I'm a Taurus. If you have gotten on my bad side anyhow, I remember your name. But like names and faces together, I don't have it. I just don't have it. Oh, you lose your car daily? I will absolutely never lose a car. Ever. I will not. That may come from having parents who might lose cars or are not necessarily visual people. And so I had to fill in some gaps. I'm gonna know where the car is. I'm gonna know. All right. Yes. Okay. So what I'm doing this year is I'm figuring out my goals in 2024. I'm starting in October. I figured out what I want to do. I figured out all the important things to me. And then I broke them down into smaller goals. Like I have an income goal for next year. And I broke down like the different things I want to do to hit that income goal. And then I broke those smaller income goals. Like if my goal is to make $17 million next year, say that's my goal, then like what number of money do I want to come from Burnout to Bliss? And what number of money do I want to come from ExodUS Summit? And in that case, what do I have to do in order to meet those goals? Now, as an entrepreneur, apparently, like, there's not a paycheck. You have to actually like do the work, which I didn't do at all. Second, I kind of abandoned my business, except for ExodUS Summit. I kind of abandoned my own business in 2022. And so I'm trying in 2023. So I'm trying not to do that in 2022 moving forward, 2024 moving forward. So I'm having like goals and I'm figuring out like, okay, what do I need to do to meet that money goal per quarter, per week, per whatever? And then I'm breaking that down into like what I think a plan for that. Because like I said, as an entrepreneur, like it's a lot of work. So there should be a paycheck, but the paycheck doesn't necessarily just show up. I don't like that. Like, there should just be a paycheck. Auntie Lou, you asked what camera I'm using. I'm using the camera on the MacBook, which I bought in 2021. So I don't know what that means. I couldn't tell you. Not the MacBook. Because the MacBook is the laptop. It's the desktop. It's the whatever Mac desktop all-in-one they were selling in 2021. That's what I'm using. Janae says, I thought you were on a half sabbatical during this year. Yeah, kind of. I was. After I came back from Morocco, Portugal, London, I came back end of May, very end of May. It was really hard to get into the swing of things before we started ExodUS Summit planning in like the big middle of July, I think. So I felt like my entire year was like either I was away and I didn't care about business, or I cared about the other business, not my business. So nothing really happened for me this year. Which isn't a terrible thing, right? Like, you guys are still here and supportive and you're watching videos. I've made some videos, whatever. All right. Global Granny has some new books for her fall reading list. I added some more of mine in the description because those are my favorites. The Artist's Way came up this week in my YouTube membership. We met on Thursday, not at a regular time on Thursday, earlier than usual on Thursday, because on Thursday I had a flight at our usual time. And we're talking about how, like, Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Linked in the description. It's a really good way, even like, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to consider yourself an artist to use the book. I think it's a really good way to tap into, especially if you don't consider yourself an artist, it's a really great way to tap into the sides of you that like are a little more creative. So she recommends morning pages every morning and going on, like, I'm going to call them like adventure dates with yourself. And it's a beautiful way to really spend more time with yourself. Currently Decentering, okay, I like that name, says the book is phenomenal. Yes, it's been a while since I've read it, but I need to do it again. I think I have. I think that's one of the few books I did not get rid of when I was in the Bay Area. But I don't know for sure because life. Yes, Valerian says, I did The Artist's Way with a group in my town. Yes, she had a lot of good points to get you back to dreaming. Yes. That's very good. It's like, I feel like the word artist in it sometimes is like a hurdle for people, but don't let it be. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be an artist. Like, you just have to be alive, right? It's a really great book, especially if you're not an artist. I read it when I was working at the car company, and it really like brought some things to the surface for me. Thank you, Larissa. I do not feel refreshed, but I'm here. I'm smiling. I'm wearing a scarf as a shirt because why not? Why not? Okay, so what else, since we're talking about books, what other books are you reading this year that are or are on your reading list that you think other women should read to get them into like the new year, new me thing, right? Let me tell you what else is on my book list that I love and love and love. Drop them in the comments. Let me know. What are your books? What are your books? My computer. I literally don't know what's going on today. But we're going to be okay. Ooh. 4,000 weeks. I was in bed with the artist way right now. Okay. 4,000 weeks. Yeah. So, Janae, I saw you say that we're actually all artists. We create all the time. Yes, but some people don't consider themselves artists and will push back against that word if they hear it. If someone describes them as an artist, they'll push back against that, which is why I'm saying you don't have to consider yourself an artist to really get a lot from that book. Ooh, Woman Who Run with Wolves has been on my to-read list, and possibly I've even purchased it, but I've never read it. But I've heard good things about it. Four Agreements is in my book list, not in my larger book list. I've read that. I don't know how many times, multiple times. The Body Keeps a Score. I started it and couldn't finish. It was so long. But yeah, I've heard great things about The Body Keeps a Score. So let's go through these. Okay, so I Was in Bed with the Artist's Way. Brittany Joy says 4,000 weeks. Let me see if I can find that one. These are all going into my computer isn't doing it. 4,000 weeks. Time Management for Mortals. I've seen this cover before, and I don't know why or where. But there goes my visual memory again. Either my internet is very slow or my computer really is about to give up the ghost on me. And I don't know why. Okay, dropping the link to 4,000 weeks. Women Who Run with Wolves. We've talked. Well, it's been on my. I think it's been on my reading list for like 7 years at least. I haven't read it. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Mind by Wayne Dyer. I'm reading You Are a Writer. After School of Crystal. Who writes You Are a Writer? I'm going to look it up right now. Jeff Goins. So start acting like one. Okay, y'all. I really don't like the way this is happening. You Are a Writer by Jeff Goins. All right. The Body Keeps a Score. The Talent Code. I haven't heard of that one. The War of Art. Have heard of, have not read it. Rachel Cargill's A Renaissance of Our Own is really helping me reframe things. We emailed all our Exodus Summit attendees our reading list. This book, I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was a good read. Like it's... Stephanie actually said this to Rachel when we met with her right before we went live. Or maybe she said it while we were live. I don't know. I don't know things anymore. What is time? Who can differentiate? That like in reading this, she didn't realize how young Rachel was. And it's weird reading this and being like, oh, like I'm picking up pieces of wisdom from Rachel, who's a decade younger than me, about things she realized a decade ago. And I was like, okay, yes, this is helpful. This was a good one. Oh, and if you are in the Exodus Summit Facebook group, which you should be, and you can join if you're a Black woman by going to exodussummit.com/community. Tori Prophet started a book club, and this is the first book they're reading. Did you know that, Stephanie? Are you in the book club? I don't know if you're in the book club. This is the first book of the book club. And it's going to be over a number of weeks. And she started it in a way that I thought was really interesting. And maybe because I haven't been to an online book club, I didn't realize this was a way to do things. But each week there's going to be a post. She started a separate Facebook group for this book club, which I can't share, but you can find it in the Exodus Summit group. Anyhoodle, each week there's going to be a post where you can like talk about what you realized from like one chapter, We just read one chapter and talk what we realized in the post for that chapter. And then at the end, there's going to be like a live book club, live online book club meeting. Like that's a really interesting way to do it. I'm used to just reading a book and then showing up to the meeting and maybe talking about the book, but definitely drinking wine, right? Like, so having an ongoing, a weekly, like, okay, let's check in about chapter 1, whatever things that came to mind. I was like, that's a really, I like that. I would have never thought about that. And possibly this is a really popular way to do book clubs. But like I said, I haven't been to an online only book club ever. So interesting. All right. 2000 Seasons by Ayo Carey Arma. Come on, Abba, with these books. Child. I don't know what's going on, but Amazon says the paperback is $75. So we're going to have to maybe check that out of a library or something. I did not realize that Amazon had payment plans for books. You can buy it for $13.85 a month for 6 months. Jesus. Oh my God, hold on. At example APR of 36%. Hold on. 30 Amazon will let you buy this book. First of all, I don't know why this book is out $75. Maybe it's out of press and there's only not that many copies. Most of the copies are used. They do have some new copies, but I don't think they're coming from Amazon. I'm not saying it's not worth $75. I'm saying I'm not used to seeing books sold, paperback books. How many pages? For $75. Now, the fact that you can buy it at a payment plan with a 36% APR is wild to me. $75 and the delivery isn't free. You still got to pay $3.99 for delivery? Child. I mean, Abba, talk to us about this. Like I said, this is not about the author. I don't know the author. This is not about the book or the quality of the book. This is just about Amazon being wild sometimes. It's 316 pages. $75 for the paperback. No. They have multiple copies and they're all $75. Like that's the lowest price you can get on it. It's not that it's signed by the author. No. This is a brand new, unsigned $75 book. The Body's Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. I started it, but I don't think I finished it. I used to own the physical copy, and I'm sure I don't anymore. Okay, it's out of print and many years old. That's why it's expensive. Okay, so Read Bloom Room says that book is hard to find. And it wasn't available on Kindle. Okay. I think this is a book day, y'all. This is what I have today, a book day. 4 Agreements, Women Who Run with Wolves, the recommendations. After School with Dr. Crystal finished a Tanisha Brown book. I don't know what Tanisha Brown reads. Let's find out. Okay. And then how do we get our hands on 2000 Seasons if we don't want to pay $75? I think is a question that we will have to come back to later. I'm definitely going to see if I can go over to Abba's house and borrow it. She knows why I did that like that. Okay, so Tanisha Brown. I think that's what you said. What does she write? Faith to Walk on Water. Every Voice Ain't from God. Okay. I think, Every Voice Ain't from God is Tanisha Stewart. Tanisha Brown is just Faith to Walk on Water. That's the only thing that's popping up right there. Maybe she has more. I don't know. We Shall Be Feminists. Another one, vote for women who run with wolves. Okay. Trust by Iyanla. She hasn't stopped by lately. Where are you at, Iyanla? If you're here, say hi. Come by later. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. What you doing? Let's be friends. It's really weird if you don't know that she had popped in here live a couple times in the past. Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. In my head, Brene Brown and Glennon Doyle are frequently the same person. Like, I know they're not. I know they're not the same person, but frequently in my head, I'm like, yeah, that little blonde lady. Oh, what's her name? Same. Complete different people, different lives. I understand. Factually, I know that to be true, but when I'm just making it through the day, could be the same person. I don't. Have they been seen in the same place? Have you seen them in the same place? The answer is probably yes, but I don't care. A Renaissance of Their Own and Sisterhood Heals. Sisterhood Heals was another good one. Boom, boom, boom. That one right there. From a Summit. It was good. All right. Bet on Black by Ebony K. Williams. Okay. Ooh, Radical Confidence. Lisa Bil. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly. And I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. Okay. Bilyeu. Change Your Paradigm, Bob Proctor. In a multi-year study group with all of Neville Goddard books. Homecoming by Dr. Bryant. You and all the books. All right, wait. I want to see Radical Confidence because I'm very curious about this. Because people keep telling us over and over that we shouldn't be confident. But here we go. 10 no BS lessons on becoming the hero in your own life. Okay. Is it good? It looks like it might be good. Bum, 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 bum. I'm so behind with your recommendations. I'm gonna get there. Who else started a book club after ExodUS Summit? I know Tori Prophet did, and I think Terry Banks started a money one. Did anyone else start one? If you're into the, I never know, is it Enneagram? I don't know how to say it. The Enneagram for Black Liberation. That sounds interesting. Okay. Homecoming by Dr. Tema comes up again. Money is Spiritual by David Hayward. Where'd I got all these recommendations? Okay, Daisy Lee says, don't laugh because I'm retired, but I'm in the process of reading Etiquette for the Savvy Professional. Now I want to know why you're reading it. Like no one was going to laugh, right? So if you think there's a reason to laugh, I want to know why I'm curious about why you're reading it. Greta has another one, The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Oh yeah, also Libby. If you're not already using Libby to get library books, you should be doing that. If you like library, if you're like going to read something electronically, I only buy books if I can't get them on Libby. Only time I buy a book. Or if like I want it in my hand for a reason. Sassy Travel Goddess says Breathe. James Nestor, On Her Best Behavior. Elise Lowen, Present Over Perfect by Shauna Nyquist. Definitely saying half of these names wrong. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dwyer. We talked about The Body's Not an Apology. I don't my copy of that book. I had a friend who worked at a publishing house in Oakland, and I went to his office one day and I left with like 30 books. I only lived a couple blocks away, but he had to like help me carry them. There were so many books, and The Body's Not an Apology is one of those. She's friends with Rachel Cargill, and Rachel mentioned that in her talk at ExodUS Summit. P.S. If you haven't watched the ExodUS Summit moments yet, you should. Also, if you bought the weekend pass, your time to watch the replays ends, I think, on the 6th or the 10th. I don't know. You know. It was there when you bought it. I don't know where it is. Stephanie knows. Any hoodle. If you upgrade to the All Access Pass, you get another session with Octavia Rahim. And if you watch the first session with Octavia Rahim, and some of y'all were like, she made me cry, she put me to sleep, I got the best rest I've ever had, you should be wanting that again in your life. So go ahead and upgrade. If you have the weekend pass, there's an email in your inbox that came to you at some time telling you how to upgrade. That link should still work, I think. If you can't find it, email us at hello@exodussummit.com. So if you already have the weekend pass, you don't have to pay the full price to upgrade. You get a discount based on what you already paid, which is why everybody gets a different link. And it's not I can't just drop a link here. Everybody gets a different link based on how much they already paid and how much the price of the existing ticket is. Blah, 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 blah. Pero another session with Octavia Rahim, which if you only have the weekend pass, you will not get the replay of that because it's only for All Access Pass holders. And that is November 10th or 11th, whichever one of those the Friday is. See, I remember looking at my calendar, but it's on a Friday. I know the exact day, October 10th, at possibly at 7:30 p.m. Replay will be available. Everybody left Octavia's session like this was the best thing ever. This was the best way to start the summit. Let's do it again. It's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be kind of like a next step. So let's get ready to next step it with Octavia. Also, she's accepting applications for her Devoted to Rest program, and I think you can still get into her retreat that is in the mountains of Georgia. I don't remember when, but either maybe early next year. So octaviarahim.com if you're interested. Yes, I'm allowing you to spend time with my friend. You guys can all do it. It's okay. She's my friend. Glowing Butterfly asks if I'm interested in Jada's book. I am not, because I don't tend to read biographies, especially celebrity biographies, autobiographies, memoirs, whatever. I tend not to read them. So I'm not interested. But like the hate she's receiving is a little disgusting to me. Because like she's a Black woman living loudly. And people are I see so many people imposing their life experiences and standards and rules onto a relationship that both her and Will seem perfectly happy in. Right? Like they seem like whatever they got going might not work for me, might not work for you, but it works for them. And so many people are like talking trash about them. And it's like, but Will said he's not going nowhere. She's embarrassing him. You don't think he knows what she's about to say before she gets? You don't think he knew what was in the book before the book was published? You don't think he was like, it is what it is? You don't think he said them same things in his book? But when he said it, it wasn't a problem. But when she says it, it's a problem. And that's just weird to me. Like people are just like the way people have no hesitation to attempt to crucify Black women for things that are none of their business, Don't impact them in any way. What Jada does with any part of her life, mind, body, spirit, does not impact me in any way. Like, I don't. But the way so many people I saw, I'm pretty sure it was D.L. Hughley. I don't say the name because I don't like that man. Anywho, I saw him say the other day about how, like, oh, look, Britney Spears has a best-selling memoir and she didn't have to go around spilling all her business everywhere. Girl was talking about having an abortion in her book. Right? Like, so she's spilling her business, but because she's not doing like press, she's not doing a press tour, because people will buy that woman's book anyway, press tour or not. She doesn't have to do the extra work that a Black woman has to do to sell her book, right? Britney Spears doesn't have to do a press tour for her book to be a bestseller because she's Britney Spears. Jada has to do a press tour for her book to sell because she's Jada, right? She didn't have to do a press tour, spill on her business everywhere. The business is in the book. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Business that we never knew is in the book. So what do you mean she has to spill her business to sell her book? Spilling her business is what is selling the book. Y'all just dumb. Not y'all, but like. Also, a man who has spent time in the news for having a mistress maybe isn't, and a lot of other unfortunate things, probably isn't the person who should be casting judgment on anyone. Because the North remembers, baby. All right, Seed of a Soul by Gary Zukov, I've heard great things about. Feeding the Soul, I have not heard. Oh, Larissa Poray, I am sorry if I'm butchering your name, says, The Calling by Raw Goddess is a powerful and complete coaching program. She gave it all away in this book. All right. Oh, you were saying Tabitha Brown. So, okay, I got it. You were talking about Tabitha Brown's book After School with Dr. Crystal. And I said Tanisha. I looked for Tanisha Brown, who is a woman named Tanisha Brown has a book. But that's not what you're talking about. Any book by Reverend Michael Beckwith. You say any book and then say a man's name? Not around here, Greta. Not around here. Mahogany Books is a Black-owned bookstore that has tons of books by Black authors only. Okay, this is a great time to add in what town you live in the comments, and if you know of a Black bookstore, right? Like in Oakland, there was Marcus Books. What town you live in? Is there a Black bookstore? So people who don't know about it, maybe they know about it. Rachel Cargill owns Elizabeth's of Akron in Akron, Ohio. Black-owned bookstore. We Shall Be Feminists. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, who also might be Brene Brown or Glennon Doyle. Possible. Okay, you said Radical Confidence. We talked about BU is how you say her name. Okay. The Calling. 3 Fundamental Shifts to Stay True, Get Paid, and Do Good by Raw Goddess. Okay, this is the second person's brought up Raw. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Raw Goddess. I don't know how today became a book day, but like really books help me get into the like swing for the new year. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. Oh, written with Gabrielle Bernstein? Forward by Gabrielle Bernstein. Okay. All right. Now I'm dropping links here, but also Libby is your friend. Get them library books. I'm going to drop the link to this. I'm going to spell calling correctly. It's my third try. There we go. Okay. The Kybalion by the Three Initiates. Black Girl by Pyongyang. Now, I have some questions because that sounds like a very Korean name. Not that you can't be Black and Korean, but I just have some questions I want answered, which means I'm looking it up real quick. Okay, nothing came up. Okay. Oh, computer, don't fail me. Nope, that did not bring up anything for me on Amazon. Hey, Tori, I didn't realize you were here. Lots of book recommendations. After School of Dr. Crystal wants to start one, but waiting till January. Why are you waiting till January, Dr. Crystal? It's a new year, baby. Yes, high vibe. I will add this to the description, and I will add all these books to the description, which is one of the reasons I'm searching them, so I can go my history and see like, oh, these are the books I searched. Make it easier for myself instead of trying to get them from the comments, because I know we go kind of fast sometimes. But also, I think I'll mail them out if you're on my mailing list. If you're not, how would I get you there? Let's see if this gets me there. No, okay. Let me come here and search. That does not work. Okay, let's see. If you go to the main page of my website, there's a more direct link, but baby, I don't know what it is right now. Like how I didn't remember the password for my email, or no, for my computer or my Apple account this morning. Okay, so to join my newsletter and get this list mailed to you, go to the main page of my website, RashidahDow.com, and then scroll down. You'll see something that says subscribe. It's like the third section, all in yellow. Write your email address and your first name, and then you will get this list mailed to you sometime soon. Not today, sometime soon. Maybe today. What am I doing? Okay. Yes, you guys, I will send out the book list. I'm committing to this. Les Brown's Law of Success. Celebrate Yourself, Eric Butterworth. Hoopla. I've never tried Hoopla. Let me make a note for myself about Hoopla. Okay. Sassy Travel Goddess learned about Sonia Renee Taylor and the Body's Anthropology on a podcast about sex and positive body image. I gotta finish that one. The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte, which I love. I still have her. Wait, do I have one of her books here? No. I think the Desire Map signed, and I had to get rid of it when I came on here. I had a couple of signed books that I had to get rid of. But I have her Truth Bomb deck here on my desk. I said that I'd get rid of that book. I just don't have enough room for everything. Yeah. Thanks for joining the membership, Brittany Joy. I see you. We'll be meeting this Thursday over Zoom to have a little chit chat. This one is my wish list. Many Lives, Many Masters, maybe. Brian L. Wise, MD. It's a story of a young doctor and his young patient and the past life therapy that healed them. I work in pediatrics. Oh, okay. Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Any book by Dr. Joe Dispenza for healing your thinking and your body. Etiquette. It's a tool book to help facilitate and build confidence to teens and young adults. Oh, Unfollow Your Passion by Terry Trespicio, I think. For people who feel like they need permission to do or go for their dreams. It's funny. I've met her. I went to a seminar and she was talking at the seminar and she did a really great job. And her book was on the list of things to read, but like, you see how long the list is, right? Like, it's long. So I haven't read her book, but she seemed like a very lovely person. Ooh, Octavia Rahim helped me create a rest practice. I built a rest nest 2 days ago, which reminds me, I was going to reach for her book. Gather is back here, but Pause Rest B, this is her book, Gather. Pause Rest B is in my suitcase because next week I am going to a retreat and it is no electronics. So hi, business partner, I will be unreachable for a week. She didn't know that yet. I don't think I knew that yet. That's like, yesterday I was like, let me see what I got to know to get to this place. Because I was trying to figure out actually how to get there. And as I was looking things up, like what we eat and blah, 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 all those things, which I did not look before I booked it. They were like, go ahead and leave your electronics at home, girl. Bring a book. So Pause Rest B is in my my suitcase right now to make sure I finish reading it. Yes, I need to build a rest nest. I'm trying to think of where I want it to be. There's a part of my, so I would like it to be outside of my bedroom. Maybe I'll do it in what my mother calls my guest room and I call my closet. There's a bed in there. I don't want it to be in my bed, but I don't find my couch extremely restful. So maybe the other bed, where a rest nest. I have another bed, right? Like, why not use it when it's not being taken over by hostages? Hostage takers. My mother is a hostage taker. Let's be real. Okay. Brittany Joy rewatches Octavia's session every other day. I'm telling y'all, if you do not have the All Access Pass, you want to get it for no other reason than Octavia's session. You're going to enjoy the year of replays. Trust. You're going to enjoy the year of replays. But Octavia's session, you know you want another one. You know you want another moment with her. To build on what you already have. The 7-Day Mental Diet, Emmett Fox. Okay. Another title about past lives of children is Return to Life by Jim B. Tucker. These are documented cases in the U.S. Sassy Travel Goddess, I think that might be past my like woo-woo limit. I'm not saying that these are not things that have happened. I'm saying that my brain struggles a little bit with like documented past lives. All right. All right, Larissa read Jada's book and deeply enjoyed it. All right. Damaris loved Jada's book too. Greta says whoever's marketing Jada's book did a genius job. I've seen that online too from other marketers being like, this is how you do it. Like, no matter if you agree or not, like, this is how you do it. Oh wait, y'all see this line? This bathing suit line? Because I am tan. Look at that. You see that tan? I don't think I've noticed this before. That tan? Yes. Beach. Tina Turner, My Love Story. I'm going to check that out. A lot of these men don't need to have access to a microphone. Yes, Auntie Lou, you are right. They don't. Like, how you get on camera? You type in, you have a platform and you are spending your time on your platform to talk about somebody else's business when your business is shameful and we all know about it. We weren't even talking, maybe that was it. We weren't even talking about him. And here you go, bringing it back. Now we got to talk about you. Okay, my favorite book of all times is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Dr. Maya Angelou. We're going to put that. Loyalty Books in DC and Maryland is a Black-owned bookstore. Mahogany Books is at National Harbor in Maryland, and they have one in Anacostia. Is it Anacostia? Anacostia? I always say Tia. I don't know. In Toronto, there is a Different Book List bookstore that's Black-owned. I'm going to send out these books too. Okay, we're going to do, on the list, I'm also going to include Black-owned bookstores. Cincinnati, Smith & Hannon, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. A book. Sankofa Bookstore in Washington, D.C. Y'all got a lot of books in Washington, D.C. Uncle Bobby's and Harriet's in Philadelphia. Harriet's in Philly. Just posted on IG about Baldwin & Co. Bookstore, Black-owned in NOLA. Semicolon Bookstore in Chicago. Underground Bookstore and Semicolon Bookstore in Chicago. Like, if you can't get it on Libby and you can get to a Black-owned, like I can't get to a Black-owned bookstore in Mexico City. Let's be real. You know, get to a, and I'm not paying to ship something from, I'm not doing that. Get to a Black-owned bookstore in your city. Ooh, okay. I'm not yelling. It's about Black women in the workplace. Because how many times have we been like, you don't have to get so worked up when you're just like saying something in the same tone someone else would. But when you say it, it's not cool. Okay. Okay, in Detroit, I was mentioning 2 bookstores that have been closed in Detroit. Shrine of the Black Madonna Bookstore and Cultural Center. Elizabeth of Akron has a list on their website. These random things I remember. Now, how would I find it? But I know on their bookstore, they have a, oh, if I click over to buy books, yes. They have a list of books, stores. Choose a bookstore. You can buy books, and then a bookstore will, oh, that's new. We'll get like credit. We get 30%. When you select your local bookstore at the map above and visit their bookshop page, we place a cookie in your browser that identifies you as the store's customer, and the store will get full profit from all your bookshop purchases, 30% of the book's list price. So if you're buying books online, this is not Elizabeth's site. It's a store, blah, blah, blah words. There is a site called bookshop.org. If you go to bookshop.org, these are not all Black owned, but they're local bookstores, local independent bookstores. And you can choose to buy, like if you can't get to a Black owned bookstore, but you want to support one, you can choose, like I know, Mark, you can choose bookstores you've heard of or that are on this list and buy books online this way and get them sent to you. So it's a way to buy online books while still supporting a like a independent and local bookstore. I'm going to drop a link right now. It's not on Elizabeth of Akron's site. I just got there through Elizabeth of Akron. I didn't realize I was on a other site. Bookshop. Buy books online and support independent Independent. That is not how you spell that word. This was not supposed to be a book day, but here we are. All right. Mahogany Books in DC. I'm in Minneapolis, and there's a bookstore called Black Garnet Books in St. Paul. They sell books by BIPOC authors. Dr. Terralyn Curry, Sacred Intelligence is a book Greta is recommending. Black Girl from Pyongyang. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Okay. By Pyongyang did not make sense to me. Black Girl from. Because that is like the southernmost location or the northernmost location in South Korea, like right across the border from North Korea, right? That's my memory. Monica Macias was transplanted from West Africa to the unfamiliar surroundings of North Korea. Okay. Let me drop this. That sounds pretty interesting. Okay, and a link. Okay. The Book Bar RVA, they have wine. Okay. All right. Okay, after school with Dr. Crystal got a job, so she's too busy, but maybe late November she'll start her book club. Lisa Nichols, No Matter What. Dismantling Racism by Dr. Terralyn Curry. Okay. This is not about Dr. Terralyn Curry. This is just a question. Do you read anti-racism books written by white people? I want to know. Let me know in the comments. I don't know how Dr. Terralyn Curry identifies, but that's just a question. Because they were making a grip off of the anti-racism work, and then speaker fees and all them things, and then what has come of it? What has come of it? Sacred Rest by Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith. Oh, okay. So all you girls, all of you, sorry, I should have not said girls, but I was reading girls. I said that. All of you have heard of Black Girl from Pyongyang. It's a whole bunch of y'all were like, I know what you're talking about. Look at this. Atlanta Metro, Brave and Kind Books, Black Rose Books, Book Boutique. 3 in the Atlanta Metro area? Okay. Brittany Joy, new member, became a YouTube member. This is how far behind I am in the comments. Black Bookstore in Sacramento, All Things Literacy. Okay. Thank you, Healing One's Mindsets. Oh, YouTube has books you can listen to free. Okay. But are those books that someone like, are the authors getting credit for? I don't like pirating certain things. I'm good at pirating some things, but books are not something I'm good with pirating. So I'm hoping whatever YouTube has, like whatever audio version of books that YouTube has, are like the authors are getting credit for them and they're getting paid. Because authors work hard. They do. Okay, someone else just mentioned Sacred Rest. So I'm reading Sacred Rest this week. Real Self-Care by Pooja Lakshman. No one has mentioned that yet, Cece, so thanks for mentioning it. Okay. Quit Like a Millionaire, No Gimmicks, Luck, or Trust Fund Required by Christy Shen, Bryce Leung, and J.L. Collins. All right. Many Lives, Many Masters, Blew Abba's Mind. Sacred Woman, A Guide to Healing the Feminine Body, Mind, and Spirit. Queen Afua. At Exodus Summit, Tammy believes Coach Tish talks about freedom dreaming. So I'd recommend Freedom Dreams, The Black Radical Imagination by Robin Kelly. That sounds really interesting. Let's see. Oh, no. I got a different Robin Kelly. I put in Robin Kelly and something else came up. It's a lot of... I'm guessing there's a Robin Kelly that writes smut. And then there's a Robin Kelly that writes some kind of folklore, some kind of like hobbits type stuff. So that did not get me where I was trying to go. Let me add that extra E in there and see if that gets me to the right place. We're going to find it. We're going to find it. My next two reads are 2 children's books in Spanish because I need the practice. Yes, get it. I told myself that I want to read a book, like a real, like maybe a novel in Spanish this year, because the words on the page I can get, so I just need more practice with it and like hearing it. I don't like hear. So in trying to becoming fluent in Spanish, even though I don't think you need to be fluent to live abroad, but becoming fluent in Spanish was one of my goals for the year. And my Spanish teacher I had a couple years ago recommended a show for me to watch. And it was cute. I think it was the Something Flowers show. Something Flores. But they had a black guy in there. He came from America with the daughter. He was like the daughter, this rich family's daughter met her boyfriend in America. And he spoke English only. And he was black American. And of course the family was racist. And I was like, I can't watch this. But low-key, like, ugh. Not like, they didn't call him monkey or anything, right? But it was just like the way every time he came in the room, it was kind of like, I don't want to watch this, right? Like, so if I could watch a show in Spanish, preferably made in Mexico, because I really do try to make sure I'm speaking like the local version of the language, then I think it would have to not have any black people for it to not have any like low-key racism. I think that's the way to find a show with, I can't even say no low-key racism because it's also a colorist society. So I don't know. I don't know how to find like a telenovela that is not going to be like, ooh, that made me a little uncomfortable. But we'll see. We'll see. You just downloaded Unfollow Your Passion. Terry Trespicchio. A Rest Nest, After School with Dr. Crystal. I keep adding to it. My woo-woo limit. I don't know what my woo-woo limit is, but I know when there's something that is like, I can't take that step with you. Like I'm walking with you, but ooh, wait a minute. Let me pause. But it's not even that I can't take it with you. It's I need to pause here and learn more to see if I can go in that direction further. Nicole loved Cicely Tyson's book. Auntie Lou mentioned bed tents. I'm interested. I had been radically resting since Octavia gave me that divine assignment. All right. Lisa Nichols, Abundance Now. What sunscreen do I use? I was going to show you guys. For my face, I got a new one from my I can't think of the name, but I know if I Google it, I'll find it. I think it's one of those Anthelios ones. It is truly this I remember thing. Like if I see it, I'm like, that's it. But what is the actual name of it? I don't know. Okay. Yes, it is a La Roche-Posay. It is this one. Boom. I would have never, I was like, Anthelios is in there. That's all I know. It is this one. I'm going to drop a link to the face sunscreen, and then body. I just use whatever I have around the house. I bought a new one, and I brought it with me, but I had an old one, so I didn't open the new one, so I can't tell you how it works. But let me get, this one, no white cast. It's a 50, and it works for me. I thought it worked. It's light. I have oily skin, so I don't really I can't use Black Girl sunscreen. I didn't even try to use her kids one. I bought the regular one once and spent a solid 15 minutes trying to rub it into my skin, and then I was like greasy and gross. I like a really light one, and that one did the job for me. House of Flowers. Adelia knew. That's the name of it. A little low-key racism. A little, why'd you bring that home with you? Because why wouldn't you? If you have the opportunity to make a show in this decade, why not add a little racism? It's a little conflict. Chance it up a bit. It's on Netflix if y'all want to watch it. But I was like, I can't and I won't. I tried, even after this is uncomfortable. I tried to keep watching it, and after a while I was like, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay. Okay, so Teresa uses Bookshop to buy from her local Black bookstore because she doesn't go outside. Look at that. Yes. Okay, y'all are saying Will Smith's book is also a good book. I don't think I'm a memoir person unless you have done something that I find really, really fascinating. Like the autobiography of Malcolm X isn't. Is it even an autobiography or is it just a biography? Because he didn't write it. Alex Haley wrote it, right? Any hoodle. Anna Costia. Okay, y'all are in the comments. I'm late, and y'all are in the comments letting me know that I can't say nothing. Anna Costia. All right. Oh, Larissa didn't even know that ExodUS Summit is a thing. You can find us on Facebook at ExodUS Summit. Join the Facebook group. You have to have a photo so we know that you're a Black woman, because it's a Black woman only group. It's a safe space for Black women. If you don't have a photo at all, we don't even, some people email us and are like, I tried to join, add me. I don't have a photo, but our system doesn't even, if you don't have a photo, you're automatically declined. We have that filter on. You have to have a photo. No photo, no entrance. Now, it does not be up for long. All right. Happiness Becomes You by Tina Turner. That sounds really good. There has to be a book list coming from this. All right. Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. Also a book I didn't read. Maybe interesting, but. Oh. I didn't realize Dr. Bryant's mom was also a Dr. Bryant, who was an author. Y'all be knowing stuff. It's why I love this community. Knowing stuff. Finding Me by Viola Davis. I heard was good. Part of Brittany Joy's slow travel plan is to do bookstore hopping. So this whole conversation is making my heart all warm and fuzzy. Yes, warm and fuzzy hearts. Okay. Octavia's bookshelf owned by a Black woman in Pasadena. All right. I travel to visit Black-owned bookstores. Sisters of the Yam from Charisse. Black Woman in Self-Recovery by Bell Hooks is an annual read. I've never read it. Heard good things about it, but I've never read it. Okay. Let's see what I've missed. Every day is a book day. Deborah Owens' Wealth Secrets, Loving Room, Seattle. Look at Seattle with a Black-owned bookstore, a Black woman-owned bookstore. Who knew? Who knew? Okay, but wait a minute. Can we talk about how so many things right now are claiming to be Black-owned that aren't Black-owned? What was it? I saw something on Nordstrom the other day about like Black-owned companies. Nordstrom had a list of like Black-owned companies, and on the list, I think it was a nail polish company, and I think the company. I know Deborah Lipman is a company, and I think Deborah Lipman is the company I'm thinking of that was talked about because it was a woman named company, and it said it was Black-owned, and I was like, but Debbie's not Black, like. She's been around this industry, like she's been making nail polish for a long time. I know I've seen her face before. Deborah Lipman is not Black. She has a Black partner who I don't think was around when the company was founded. I don't know. I don't know if he owns, I don't know what, she has a Black romantic partner. As far as I can tell. This is what, listen, I hit the Googles real quick. Like, I don't understand Black-owned Deborah Lipman. What's happening? This company, which has been run, as far as I know, like created by a white woman, run by a white woman for years, named after this white woman, is now a Black-owned company? How cute. How adorable. Now, maybe she sold it to someone Black. Or maybe not. I don't know. Sipping my tea and not minding my business. Because why would I? All right. More Black-owned bookstores. New Beacon Books in North London. Jacaranda Books in Old... I never say this correctly. I'm not going to say it. Central London. It's in Central London. That's one... Like, I know Gloucester is something I always say incorrectly. I'm only fake British, baby. I don't know the words. Y'all, like, I only speak American English. I'm sorry. Ooh, for holiday shopping. Yes. Yes, I will support. I'll include the information to Bookshop and where you can find the books. But remember, all the books in all the stores in Bookshop aren't Black owned, which is why I'm collecting the list here. So you can get your bookstore doesn't have to be local to get the credit. So if you love Marcus Books, I know a lot of you do, and you live in Alabama, Marcus Books can still get 30% of the sale price, the profit. What did they say? Let's find out what they said. Of the book's list price, the store will get the full profit from your Bookshop purchase. So Bookshop does not get any money, I guess. Or I don't know how they work it, but the full profit goes to the local bookstore. If you don't choose a store, your purchase will contribute to a profit pool that is divided among all our participating bookstores. So let me see what happens. If I go to Sweet Home Books, what happens if I click on that link? Oh, they show their favorites, etc. All right, yes, I'm going to list the Black-owned bookstores. Why am I giving myself homework? Y'all know I don't like homework. I'm gonna do it though. And I'm gonna include Elizabeth of Akron because this is where I learned of Bookshop. All right. Oh, you had an ExodUS meetup in Minneapolis? Can y'all see the blue in my hair? It doesn't really show on camera, but in real life, if I'm in the right sun and I tilt my head the right way, you can see the blue. A list of 154 bookstores is on the website for the African American Literature Book Club. Y'all be knowing stuff. The largest site celebrating books by Black writers since 1968. Okay. Y'all be knowing stuff. Okay, where do I find the store list, though? I can't find it. I'll find it later. Y'all be knowing stuff. Where can I purchase the book Traveling Fearlessly Solo by Lisa James, an ExodUS Summit speaker? I think on her site, if you look on her speaker page for ExodUS Summit, it is probably there. If it's not there, I don't know. But check her Summit speaker page. Okay, so no, y'all are not buying books about anti-racism. They're not written by people who have experienced racism. Thank you. 2 bookstores owned by Black women in Sacramento, California Underground Books and All Things Literacy. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Dr. Maya Angelou and The Prophet by Dr. Khalil Gibran. I never know. Monica reads the anti-racism books by white people, but she doesn't buy them. Interesting strategy. Okay. Yeah, Greta, you did the work today. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't read a lot of anti-racism books generally. My nervous system, emotional health has had enough. Yeah. I mean, you're living an anti-racist lifestyle, most likely. You're living under the thumb of racism. You don't have to do the work. Ask and It is given by Jerry and Esther Hicks, Kindred Stories Bookstore in Houston, Texas. Y'all be knowing things. Okay, let's see. Where am I? I was going to give listening to Spanish podcasts another try. The 4 Agreements Changed My Life. I loved that one. I enjoy reading romance novels written by Black women. Yes, I do too. I read Untamed, then bought a copy in Portuguese. Same with Eat, Pray, Love. It's slow going, but I feel like I'm making progress. I hadn't thought about that. Reading a book in another language, but I've already read in English. That's interesting. Okay. Sacred Pampering Principles. Kat wants us to think about hammocks in our rest nest combo. Of course you do. Kat has a hammock, but not like a I take it out sometimes hammock, but like a full time. It's there all the time. If you catch her in a meeting, she's in the hammock. I don't know if she has a couch. I also don't know if Kat has a couch. I know she has a hammock. I don't think I've ever seen her. Maybe I've seen her one time on a couch. I've seen her more times in a hammock than anywhere else when I see her on camera. She has a couch. Oh, now, when your work wants you to join the bookstore on anti-racism, now y'all do the work and then tell me what you learned and what you're going to do differently. Tell me what you're going to do differently in this workplace now that you've learned anti-racism. When you're done, let me know. Woman Hollering Creek. Larissa uses black girl sunscreen. Listen, I tried. I'm way too oily. It was way too oily for me. Any book by Dr. Claude Anderson. 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power by Dr. Boyce Watkins. Okay, so I, in good conscience, cannot recommend Dr. Boyce Watkins because the book might be great, but who he is online is frequently anti-Black woman. The misogynoir comes out frequently, and I can't support you by reading your books. But I'm not saying that's a bad book. I'm saying that I will never know. And I'm okay with that because there are a lot of other books by authors who don't make me say like, ugh. So I'll read those books. Okay, so y'all gave up on House of Flowers too? So the woman who recommended the book to me, the Mexican woman who recommended House of Flowers to me, has Black children. And while having Black children, recommended a show to watch that was anti-Black. And sometimes I just want to be like, you don't see it? You don't see? You don't see what you don't see this? As a mother, as a woman who had children with a Black man, I need you to be better at spotting the racism, the anti-Black racism, and not helping it flourish by recommending it where it exists to other people, especially other Black people. It's a small request, but like, Comma Bookstore in Flint, Michigan is Black owned. Sister Sci-Fi is a Black woman-owned bookstore that's online. Took me a long time to distinguish Black owned from Black targeted. Yeah. Black adjacent, Black acting, Black leaning. Everybody wants to be Black until it's time to be Black. Rev Ike, An Extraordinary Life of Influence. He was the only Black man preaching, teaching, demonstrating, living by imagination. Book comes out in December. My former mentor, powerful. All right. Gloucester. Thanks, Kat. I don't speak English. Sisters Uptown Bookstore, NYC. Everyone's Place in Baltimore. The Lit Bar Bookstore in Bronx. Teresa gonna get fired from that. No, I'm not going to put that out there. Teresa's gonna leave that job soon because she keeps telling them she's a grown-ass Black woman. Every time at work or every time at work, a book or movie is mentioned anyway, I follow up my favorite book or movie and it's always Blackity Black, Black, Black. She's been telling them since the summit, reminding them she's Black and she's going to be Black in this space and they're going to deal with it. And I love it. Key Bookstore in Hartford, Connecticut. Okay, so it's Born to Create. Malcolm X is an autobiography with Alex Haley, but like, who wrote the words? Which is why I'm sitting here like, does it really count? I don't know. This is not to like take anything away from Malcolm X, but like, where's the line between biography and biography with a ghostwriter, right? Like know. This is an exercise in my brain today. It's not about this specific book. Schomburg Gift Shop. The Schomburg Gift Shop is Black owned? Interesting. Sister Sci-Fi, Black owned in Oakland. Okay. Café con Libros. Oh, Miss Callie, the blue during the summit was a different blue than this blue. The blue during the summit was a real blue. This is like a, you can't really see it blue unless the sun hits. But I can see it all the time. It just doesn't show up on camera. Café con Libros in NYC. Zawadi Books in Buffalo, New York. Oh, no, you'll have to find the book. I'll find the book back on bookstores for you. This is stuff I like to do. Black Pearls Books, owned by Katrina Brooks. Ms. Jones, we're talking about books today. Well, I don't know how we ended up here, but we're talking about books and bookstores. I bought it on Amazon. I wanted to buy the books from her bookstore, but it didn't work out for me because of my timing. I needed, yeah. Anyhow, so I did buy her book from Amazon. All right. Let's see. Edna's Bookstore. Made from Scratch. Finding Success Without a Recipe. House of Flowers is very problematic. I literally haven't watched. I remember watching a couple episodes, and that was like 2 years ago, and I still remember being like, I can't believe that was recommended to me. Like, just so casually, like, sprinkle. It was literally like, here's a plot, but oh wait, we forgot to add some racism, so let's go back in and sprinkle some in. Unnecessary, completely like, the plot didn't require racism. The plot didn't require anti-Blackness, but they were still like, what if we could find a way to squeeze some in real quick? What? Oh, wait. Made from Scratch? Oh, we're talking about Made from Scratch, the book. Ah, the movie on Netflix was a book? I think that's what's going on here. Okay. I haven't watched it because every time, and if it's from the same book, I don't know if I'm going to read the book. Because every time y'all are like, I cry so hard. I'm like, not me, baby. Y'all stay safe. I'm not going to watch it. Y'all cry. I'm not, I don't watch Netflix to cry. Just remember to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Go Shan says to do it. And somewhere, everywhere, how do I become a member? If you go to my channel page, there's a link to, it'll say like join. If you do it, you can do it from an Android phone or a computer, unless they've made some changes. But Android phone or computer, you can go underneath to my page. It'll say join. You join. There's probably a better way. I don't know it. They don't let me see how to join because that's my channel. High Vibe just joined. I'll see you on Thursday at the Zoom session. We just be talking. It's more of this, but like I can see everybody. We all see each other. Oh, last week. So we met on Thursday. I had to leave after an hour. They're scheduled to be like 30-minute sessions, but they're never 30-minute sessions. I had to leave after an hour, and the ladies were in full conversation. So I don't even know how long the conversation lasted after I left. But like I needed to get in the taxi to get to the airport at an hour. I was like, this is where I got to go. I left someone as the host, and I don't even know what happened in the conversation. Like they were in it. I was like, I got to go, and they were like, what? I was like, no, I already made someone the host. You guys can stay here and talk. And they stayed and talked without me because they're friends. People in the YouTube membership are friends. It was a lot of life advice and stuff happening. It's a fun time. And now that the summit's over, I'm adding some more content into the YouTube membership. Oh, so on this video, you should see something that says join. Global Granny knows. Okay, yes to the lip bar. No, I'm not crying. I'm not. If I know in advance it's going to make me cry, I'm not signing up. For tears? Nah, dog. Where is the Black Bookstore in Baltimore? Anyone have any info for Lenora? Mahogany Books in Washington, D.C. Where's the Black Bookstore in Charlotte? Where is Edna's Bookstore located? Y'all got questions. Bye, Jay. Go enjoy the ladies' soccer team senior day. Okay, Auntie Lou has Spanish series she's watched. International historical shows. The Spanish Princess, Isabella, Cathedral by the Sea. Okay. Uncle Bobby's Bookstore in Philly. Oh, the Netflix movie was a different story than the book. So there were two made from scratch. Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't know how so many of us know about House of Flowers. Like, this is concerning. So many of us know about it and don't enjoy it. Is it being pushed on us? Because there are a lot of other telenovelas that I've never heard of before, but so many of us have heard of House of Flowers. Socialite Society is a new Black-owned bookstore in Lansing focused on Black women writers. I purchased Octavia Butler's works from there and Zora Neale Hurston. Ew. Okay. You know how hard it was for me not to call Octavia Rahim Octavia Butler? Especially with a written book. Like, I hear Octavia and book, I think Octavia Butler. I think once I did say it, I don't know if I was in front of her when I said it. And I was like, oh, wait, that's not you. I've said Octavia Butler somewhere before. And I was like, that is, or maybe it was on a live. I was like, Octavia Butler is going to be there. And I was like, no, she's not. A little too woo-woo for me. All right, who just joined the membership? Cinnamon Karib, welcome, welcome, welcome. Here you are. Okay, so Thursday, oh wait, that's not what I meant to do. Liberation Station in Raleigh, Black owned. So Thursday after I left, it was good, I guess. How long were y'all there after I had to get on in a car and go? They really were like, we don't need you. Go ahead and go. Which I love. I do love that. Everyone's Place on North Avenue in Baltimore, for whoever was asking about Baltimore. Welcome, welcome, Cinnamon Carib. Okay. If you're a fiction fan who leans into dark fantasy, witchy horror, then you may enjoy Black author Alexis Henderson's work. One of her latest is House of Hunger. I do not lean into dark fantasy, but I know there are people here who do. Alexis Henderson. All right. All right. This was not at all what we had planned today. But I feel like we did it. I feel like today was a great day for me. Yeah, I don't do horror. Okay, so I won't like, if you call something a scary movie, I am not going to watch it. I think I think after the first Saw, I was like clocked out. No, thank you. When did that come out? Let me see. Maybe it was that one. Maybe it was something else. Saw. Let's see. 2004. I'm sure I clocked out before then. Maybe I tried to watch it. 2004. I know I haven't watched a scary movie past that. So the past 20 years, I have not. If you're like, people were like, oh, it's not that scary. No, dog. I'm not doing that. My nervous system can't take all those jumps and the let me watch this movie and lay my burdens down, not pick up somebody else's burdens. No, wait. I watched Get Out and Us, right? And those are scary-ish, but not like, you know, Saw and all the rest, and the House of this and the Who's of what and Final Destination. Not for me. Nisha says Insidious was our one and done. All right. Greta Cobb says her scary movie's looking at a dwindling bank account. Yes, ma'am. Comedy clips up today on YouTube. I don't like stand-up comedy. It feels weird to say because I feel like there are so many good, particularly Black stand-up comedians. They're very, very good at this. Black people are very, very good comics. Stand-up comedy, yes. Love it. In person, I'm okay with it. I have an in-person. There are things I'll watch in person that I won't watch on TV or like on YouTube. Like, I have never watched Homecoming, and I've been to multiple Beyonce concerts. I went to this last one twice. I've never watched Homecoming on the TV. No, I'm good. So stand up, like to get me to watch like a stand-up comic special like that they do on Netflix and stuff, it takes a lot. I got to be in the right mood, and I'm rarely in what I think is the right mood. I don't know. Brittany watched a PG-13 movie on Disney. I was having a hard time. Yes. No, me and my nervous system don't need this. We have enough going on. All right, what do you guys do with your books when you are done with them? I've stopped buying physical books. I bought them for the summit, right? And I bought, like if I have friends, I'll buy their books. This is by my friend Angela Aviles. But I don't buy books anymore just because I never know when I'm going to have to pack up and move. And selling all my books, especially the ones that have been like signed to me, was sad. It was probably in February when I was in the Bay Area with Adelia and we're going through my storage unit, the books were some of the saddest things because it was like some of these books I've had for decades and I love them. And my mom told me earlier, like, books are your friends. That sounds weird. But it was about writing a book. She's like, we don't write on our friends. Books are our friends. And so I had so many, like, I had so many books. And I realized that, like, that's not sustainable in the life I have. So I've very much switched to a digital book reader. I haven't gotten over to Audible yet. Books on tape, Audible, I'm not quite there yet, but I am a digital book reader. And so I do get a lot of my books from Libby because if I can get them for free as opposed to giving Amazon my money, why would I do that? But I know a lot of you still like I like the feel of paper. It just doesn't fit in my lifestyle. So let me know, you guys, what do you guys do with physical books when you're done with them? I kept a few books from my thingy. Let me show you some of the books I kept. These are some of, there are more. And I want to show you. Okay. Straight No Chaser. How I Became a Grown-Up Black Woman by Jill Nelson. One of the ones I kept. Really loved this book. Really, really loved this book. She has another book called Volunteer Slavery. I read that one too. I should not have been reading a book called Volunteer Slavery while I was at a job I hated. Could imagine how that went. But this was good. This selection of novels and short stories by everyone's favorite, Zora Neale Hurston. For Colored Girls. This actually has the the record, that is actually the record that from the Broadway, when it was on Broadway in 1973, the original pressing of the record is in there. It was a gift from my bestie when I was in college. And I have a book because I love it, and I met her, and she's a lovely woman. This one, which I haven't read yet because I think I'm scared to touch the papers. Like, Zora Neale Hurston again. I Love Myself When I'm Laughing. Edited by Alice Walker. Signed to Beth Goldberg in 70. No, Beth Goldberg wrote her name in it in 79. I definitely got this from a used bookstore. Let me see when this was published. You see, like, I was born in 79, right? So like, I think I'm legitimately like, I haven't read it because I don't want to like mess up the pages. This was printed in maybe 79. Let's see. Yeah, copyright 1979 by Alice Walker. One of my favorite things. And then the last thing, I wrote one of my best papers in college using this book. It is Blues, Legacies, and Black Feminism, Angela Davis. It's about Gertrude Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, and Billie Holiday. And this is an exceptional book. And it is signed by Angela Davis, if I remember correctly. Not to me, because I acquired it in a different way. Yes, it's signed by Angela Davis. So those are some of the ones that I kept when I got rid of everything. And then like these coffee table books. The Museum of Islamic Art in Doha is my favorite museum in the world. Gordon Parks photo book, because Gordon Parks is amazing. Kende Wiley art, and Amina Robinson. I always talk about how much I love Amina Robinson, but I don't ever show you guys her work. So if you're not familiar, this is all over the place today, isn't it? Okay, so she was an artist in Columbus, Ohio. And symphonic poem was an exhibit the museum did. And it's just, she's fabric work. And so like, this is a quilt. All her works are like, she painted as well. I have a pencil drawing from her. Oh, this got a little wet at some point. Boo hiss. I don't know how that happened. It was in storage for years. That's how that happened. But yeah, I love her works. So, yeah, those are some of the books I kept when I got rid of everything. So I'm looking at, and then a couple of like yoga books, not a lot. Have we done this today? I think we've done this. I've lost so many physical books that I know. So I now buy on Kindle and Audible. Okay, so Our Black Utopia says For Colored Girls is depressing as shit. I didn't find the book depressing. The movie, Tyler Perry ruined that. Tyler Perry ruined it. We don't even talk about that. But the book itself, I didn't find depressing. Oh, okay. This is a good idea. Wrap books in pretty paper, give it to friends as just because gifts. Donate books by Black women to Free Black Women Library or to Books Behind Bars. Okay. Rhonda's Boutique is in Duncanville, Dallas, Texas, owned by an African woman. Okay. Okay, this is what I need because I have a membership in. This is a good question, Halisi. How do you gather your library cards from everywhere? Because I'm in what county is that in Florida? That Fort Lauderdale's in? Broward. I'm in the Broward County system on Libby, and they do not have the books. Like, they don't have a lot of books. They do not. And so I'm like, I need to get into more library. I'd like to get into NYC library system. And they had a way to do it for students who lived out of the area. But I would have had to lie and say I was a student, so I didn't want to do that. But I really want to figure out how to get into more library systems so I can get more books. Okay. When traveling, I leave it in the country I finished it at, the hotel or Airbnb, library, cruise ship, or give it to someone. Smart. Smart. Okay. Junket gave most of them away. The others I've stored, I've kept with a friend. Jade, I was a writer / publisher, so I have 8 bookcases of books to give away before moving to CDMX. I'm very particular about who my books go to because some of them are out of print or first edition. Yeah, that's hard. I don't buy fiction books, only read, listen via Libby. The others I keep. I don't think the last time I bought a fiction book. Donate to mobile library. Oh, she has the same. Of course, Kat has the same edition of I Love Myself When I'm Laughing. Kat and I are like, we don't talk about it. I don't think we ever talked about this, but Kat and I are very much two sides of the same coin. We're very different in a lot of ways, but we're very, very, I've noticed that we're very similar in a lot of ways too. So I'm not surprised. She has the exact same version from 79. Let's see. Okay, High Vibe is decluttering her books today. If you need some motivation, watch the talk by Kristen Ivy at the summit. She did a really great job of talking about decluttering and keeping the things you love and getting rid of the things you don't love and just making it simpler for yourself. Okay. The Diary of Frida Kahlo. I loved the Columbus Art Museum. That was my home away from home. I did not hate Columbus. It's 10 winters were enough. Ooh, LA allows you to apply online. I use friends' addresses. I might do that. Like when I looked at New York, they were like, "Are you a student?" I was like, "No." And I didn't have an address to, although I do have an address to use. I'm not gonna get an address in LA. All right. Oh, you purchased the Tidy Journal. It's helping declutter. Great. That's good. Yes. Hugs for your task today. It's decluttering books was very emotional because I was like, they all bring me joy. So what do I? And then Adelia was like, no, stop it. The books have to go. You can't take like when it's bad because I took them to Half Price Books who will buy your books back from you for like 3 cents per book or whatever. When I took them there, they looked at me like I was a lunatic. And we did 2 different drop-off sessions. In the first session, it was very much like, and I know people bring lots of books all the time, but for some reason, I don't know if it was more, but I think it was more than they usually see at one time. They were like, have a seat. Like, girl, what is this? So yeah, it was very, and I had to do it all in a very short amount of time. So take your time. Do it. Okay. Yes, Our Black Utopia. Can you confirm that LA was Los Angeles and not Louisiana? For Kat, I assume Los Angeles, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to think what other books I got recently. I got this book last year when I was in, it was a gift for me when I was in La Paz, and I wasn't in La Paz. It was somewhere in BCS, and I have never looked at it. And I got it from the author. It was a gift. The author was right there. It was a gift not from the author, but the author was right there when I got the gift. Ceviche Arco Iris Rainbow Ceviche. So they have recipes in, nope. No, the recipes are all in English. How pretty is that? All right. Okay. So my job is to send out a list of the books, the bookstores. I'll include Libby. I'll include Hoopla. And we will have, we're going to get our reading right. This was not the talk I had planned for the day, but it's the talk it developed into, and this was very fun, and I'm very glad we did this today. So I'm going to change the title to something about books. I'll figure it out. I don't know. But I'm also going to go eat because I'm hungry because I didn't get a chance to eat before we started because everything fell apart this morning. So yeah, anyhoodle, Greta was recommending taking pictures of recipes in here and regifting. I've never even cracked open this book before. And it's not that I don't think it's written by, you see cookbooks written about a certain culture's food and it's not written by people from the culture. You're just like, girl, what are you doing? This is written by a Mexican woman. The man is the chef. No, Noel Morales is the recipe writer. He is the chef. I was like, Gluck? No, but it was Chef Noel was the one who wrote. Yes, the recipes are from him. And he runs a restaurant, is a chef. He's just married to Rachel, who I think wrote the book. If the recipes are one person, what is the other person doing when they're writing the book? There's writing in here. There's recipes and there's text. There's like sections that are not recipes that seem like they're about history and stuff. Okay. Great. All right, y'all. We're out of here. I'm about to go eat. Yes, cat stories. Y'all always have the words and I don't have the words. And I love y'all for that. We will talk to you guys. Who's we? All right. Go ahead. A couple things. Get your all access pass to ExodUS Summit. I forgot the name of the summit for a minute. Get your all access pass to ExodUS Summit because you are going to want to watch Octavia Rahim and you're going to want to watch the replays for more than 30 days. Yes. And also join from Burnout to Bliss. We had a lot of people join lately and it's just got some fresh blood and it feels good. And we're doing our next session on Saturday. The next From Burnout to Bliss coaching session is on this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm leaving to the airport immediately afterwards to go no contact for a week because I'm going to the Berkshires. Flying into Albany, then going to the Berkshires for the first time ever. It's between 40 degrees and 50 degrees there this week. Why would I do that to myself? I don't know. Anyhow, but I'm doing it to myself, so I'll be out of communication next week, which means we won't be doing we're doing co-working this week on my other channel, Rashida Doe, but we're not doing co-working week after because I won't be allowed to have electronics. I mean, I'll be allowed to have them. I just won't be able to can't do a meeting kind of thing. All right. So Jay says Berkshires is beautiful and Sassy Travel Goddess says it's freezing and icy. I make bad decisions all the time. Y'all just get to see this one. All right. The silent retreat is on your list. This one isn't a silent retreat. It is one to help us get in touch with our feelings. Maybe I can be able to watch a movie where I cry. We'll see. Anyway, y'all, I'll talk to you guys later and I'll do my homework today. You might get the list today, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime this week. Who knows? We'll see. But I will email you out a list of all of this stuff. All right. Bye.